Okay, so people had some issues yesterday with the spline extrusion features, and we didn't cover them in the lecture, so I thought I'd put together a quick video to show you some of the rules about using these things, okay? So, and they're pretty simple. So I'm just starting with a cube, okay, and turn on my wireframe on shaded. So one thing to remember about splines when extruding like this is that every spline has a start and an end. They have a direction, okay? So they start and they end at a certain point, okay? And what that means is that when you go to use it as an extrude, use it as an extrude, you're going to get, you have to sort of play with it that way, okay? So if I get on my control vertexes, you'll see that when I select them, see how one has got a little square? It's a square versus the ones that are dots. This is what they call the first in the spline, okay? So that means this is first, second, third, and on and on and on, right? So that means if I was trying to extrude from down here up, it's not going to work, because when I say extrude some polygons like we did yesterday, okay, like this, and then I select my spline, it's going to start here and go there. So if you know, if this was reversed and down there and I selected some polygons, it would go up there, no problem. But that's not the way it works. But you can also you can reverse the direction of the spline, like so. Okay, so now it actually will be that way. So see, now this is like this, and you'll hit this also if you use splines for. You can sometimes you can use splines to make motion paths in animation, which we probably actually won't cover. That'll probably be in the next semester stuff, but. By default, it's going to want to start at the start, of course, and move through the spline. Okay, so anyhow, the point is that if I go to do this, let me get back out to object mode. Boom, boom. Faces. Then select my spline. Then do my extrude. It works. Okay. Now, if I did this the other way around and said, oh, I'm thinking I'm going to extrude from here and go down, I'm going to get some really weird stuff, like so. See, so it goes all the way down to where the first vertex of the spline is, or the control vertex, and then up. So obviously that's not going to work. So as long as you either correct your spline or correct your selection, it's going to work just fine. So that's why this works and the other does not. Okay, so the other thing to also mention here real quick is that you can't also, like the logical thing to be trying to do here would be to, if I was making a handle on this thing for some reason, would be to come up here and you would think that you would say, this is why I want the end to be, and this is what I want the start to be, but that's not the way extrusion along a spline works. It's just directional. It's just going to go in one direction. So I'm going to get something really super weird if I do that. Okay, so it's actually boy, it's hard to even explain what it's doing here. So to put that handle on here properly, you would just the easiest way is just to do this. Okay, dump all that, go in here. Let me zoom it up. I don't know if I can get in there. Really get that. Get that. And then hit your edit mesh bridge. And then see, now you've got now it connects. Now there's a bridge there and it's clean. Okay? That's the main thing. It's just that's how these extrudes work, and you just have to sort of play with them the way that they want to be played with, and then it'll work great for you. So that is extrude along a spline, or most of the extrude along the spline tips. The only other thing to keep in mind too is if you do go in here, you know, by default I'm just selecting the menu item. If you go into options, you'll actually see, like, if you're not using a curve, like you can use this tool just to extrude stuff, you know, and get, you know, put options in for how many divisions you want and everything. But also sometimes if this gets turned off, you see this curve selected, that's obviously the curve that we selected. If that's off, and in some people's computers it was off, it's not gonna do what you're expecting. So if you leave that on, it's gonna work out just fine. Taper and twist is, you know, the